Hey everyone, today we are taking a look at the 2019 film In the Shadow of the Moon. Watch out for spoilers and enjoy the show. The scene opens in Philadelphia in the year 2024. We are shown the inside of an office building that is badly damaged, with the windows completely blown out. We hear sounds of destruction and explosions in the background as the camera moves closer to the windows. An altered version of the American flag is seen falling from the sky as the scene cuts, and we are taken back to 1988. Here, we are introduced to three seemingly unconnected people, as we see them each going about their days. After a minute of following their routine, each of them start bleeding out of their nose, then their ears, and finally, their eyes, before they each collapse in a pool of their own blood. One of them, unfortunately, is a bus driver, which leads to a large accident. We next meet our protagonist, Tom Lockhart, waking up for his graveyard shift as a police officer. As he's making breakfast for his pregnant wife, he gets a call about the accident involving the bus driver. His partner Maddox picks him up a short time later, and they head to the crime scene. They aren't supposed to approach the scene, but Tom is ambitious, and the detective is his brother-in-law, so he decides to get a closer look. Upon examining the body, he notices that it isn't just blood that leaked out of her head, but also her brains. He also notices 3 puncture wounds on the back of the woman's neck, which he points out to Detective Holt. They next get the call about the man in the concert hall and then the man in the diner. They go to visit them both and see the same situation: puncture wounds on the back of the neck, and brains leaking out of their skulls. Tom is interested to see what the connection is, so he goes down to the hospital to get the autopsy report of the bus driver. He is told she was injected with some kind of radioactive isotope that everyone in the lab is excited about, because nobody knows what it is. They next get a call about another person who was attacked in the same way, but this person is still alive, so they go quickly to talk to her. They are able to get her story and a description of the perpetrator, who is said to be a young woman with incredible strength wearing a blue hoodie with a wound on her left hand. Unfortunately, the woman dies shortly after giving her statement, in the same grisly manner as the others. They put out an APB on the perp and start arresting anyone who matches the description. As luck would have it, though, Tom and his partner happen to literally bump into the person they are looking for with their car. They then begin to chase her down into the subway. Maddox is the first to find her, and the two get into a fight, leading to Maddox breaking his leg. As Tom continues to chase after her, he briefly stops to pick up a weapon that she dropped, seeing it as some kind of futuristic-looking device. He ends up catching up to her, and they too have a confrontation on the subway platform. Strangely, she congratulates him on the birth of his daughter and then asks him if this is where it happens. Tom is confused and attempts to arrest her. After a brief scuffle, she appears to get the upper hand, handcuffing him to a bench. She starts to walk away and says, "See you soon." Before she can get out of his range, though, Tom lunges forward and stabs her in the leg with her own weapon. This startles her, leading to her falling off the platform and getting hit by a train. Still confused and in shock over what just happened, he is told by another officer that his wife has gone into labor and was taken to the hospital. He immediately goes to see her and gives her a bracelet that he bought for her earlier. Unfortunately, she quickly passes out from blood loss after seeing him, and while the doctors were able to save the baby, they were unable to save her. Tom and Holt are both devastated at the news. We then jump forward 9 years to 1997 and see Tom's daughter making breakfast for them both. We see that it is her birthday, and Tom got her a charm for her bracelet. They have plans to go to the zoo, but Tom receives a call from Holt about another murder, one that matches the description of what they saw 9 years ago. They assume it is a copycat killer, but when they watch the security footage, the woman in the video looks identical to the woman that Tom fought. She even has the wound on her left hand, which nobody but the police knew about. This leads to Tom digging up the old evidence from 9 years ago, and he has another officer investigate some keys that they had taken off of her body, but never looked into because the case was ultimately closed. He finds out the keys are to a small airplane, but that the airplane model only just came out last year. Wondering how she could have had keys to an airplane that wouldn't come out for 8 more years, they decide to investigate, leaving Tom's daughter to sleep at the station. They track down one of the planes at a nearby airfield, and Tom hops the fence to get a closer look. Once inside, he is confronted again by the same assassin from 9 years ago. Tom manages to contact Maddox, who calls for backup, and then tries to come in and rescue him. Maddox draws his gun, telling the woman to freeze, but she instead turns around and shoots him with her shotgun. She then takes Tom, and they escape together in the airplane as the rest of the police arrive. While they fly in the plane together, she explains that she is from the future, and that every 9 years, due to an alignment of the moon, she is able to come back in time for a short while. She says she is trying to carry out an important mission to save the future. She then pushes him out of the plane, and he lands in the water, barely able to survive and swim to the shore. He sees that the plane wound up crashing and is on fire on the beach, but the girl is nowhere to be seen. We then jump forward 9 more years to 2006. We see that Tom has spent the years obsessing over the case of this time-traveling assassin. He is drinking a lot and has clearly let himself go. We see him picking up his daughter from school, and we learn that she has been staying with Holt and his family, as Tom's life has become somewhat of a mess. Tom later visits an old widow as he continues his investigation. He learns that her ex, Harold, was the head of an extreme political movement, and he had been mailing his crazy political ideas to a number of his followers. He manages to get the mailing list from the woman and uses it to track down one of the man's co-conspirators, only to find her dead, with the assassin having gotten there just moments before. We then see the assassin jump out of an upstairs window, and Tom takes a couple shots at her, hitting her in the hand, which ends up being the wound she had earlier in the movie. They have a short vehicle chase, which leads to Tom following her onto a beach and then into a drain pipe. We see her squatting down inside of some kind of tank, which is filling up with water, apparently her time machine. Tom tries to open the door to the contraption as it begins a countdown. He realizes he is too late and says, "See you soon," just as the time machine disappears. We then jump another 9 years into the future to 2015. We see that Tom has set up camp on the beach near the drain pipe where he saw the time machine disappear. He seems to know what time the assassin will appear again and is waiting to finally end it. Right on time, we see the girl crawl out of the pipe and look toward the sea. Tom then announces his presence and shows her that he has a gun. The girl tells Tom that he's not going to kill her because she knows him, and she has known him her whole life, as he helped to raise her. She shows him her mother's charm bracelet, and it turns out that this is Tom's granddaughter, and she's been traveling to the past, trying to stop a horrible future that sees millions of people dying in a political revolution. Tom is devastated as he realizes now that she ultimately ends up losing her life for this cause, and he tells her what ends up happening to her. Despite the news, she is resolute, because she knows now that she will be successful in her mission to save the future. They part ways, and Tom goes to see his daughter as she gives birth to his young granddaughter. The scene ends with Tom holding the baby girl, now determined to be the father and grandfather his family needs him to be. Like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. See you next time.